So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video than the last one. Like I mentioned in the last video, we get an explanation here of what happens when you have a bunch of men in a society and not enough women. And what's worse when you have a bunch of men in a society who may or may not be somewhat criminal in nature, at least one of whom was a brother killer. All right, so this is a passage about the Sabine women, and so we shall see what is going on here. Right, Iam res Romana firma finitimis civitatibus bella parerat. So Iam now the res Romana, the Roman don't say Roman race because that's weird. Right, but the Roman state, the Roman Republic, firma was strong or firm, something like that. I like strong because that's better. Was strong and was par in bello, was equal in war, and they were equal in war to finitimis civitatibus. How do we know which is which? Well, par likes to take a dative. When you have a dative with an adjective, Caleb, what's it called? Thanks, Caleb. It's a dative of reference, right? But then the bello here is actually the way in which they are equal to, so this one happens to be the ablative of respect. Okay, so the Roman state was strong and was equal when in war to the neighboring citizens. Said, but Romani neque uxores neque cum finitimis in ius connubi habebant. But the Romans, neither uxores, neither women, nor use, nor I don't know. I don't want to say justice because that's kind of weird. I don't know. Right, maybe relationship, or the right of marriage. Habebant were having. So the Romans were not, but the Romans were not having either, or having neither neither wives, nor a right of marriage with the neighboring peoples. So all these people live around each other, but just because you live near people doesn't mean that you have the right to marry them. So the Romans are in a bit of a bind here, right? The neither nor neque, direct object number one is the uxores, and the direct object number two is use, right? And then the right of marriage is the use connubii. All right. Tum Romulus quostam ex patribus legatos and vincinas gentes misit, qui societatem connubiumque novo populo peterent. So tum then Romulus, something to quostam certain men or certain people, ex patribus from the fathers, legatus. So certain in this case envoys. An envoy is basically just an ambassador. All right, so Romulus something certain ambassadors from the fathers. We just learned from the fathers that these are the 100 senators. And then he something them into wikinas gentes, pay attention to the accusative here, into the neighboring peoples, he mesited. All right, so then Romulus sent certain envoys from the fathers to the neighboring peoples. And these fathers, or the neighboring peoples, we're going to assume that they're the fathers, who societatem, who an alliance and a marriage with or for or to the novo populo peterent. What are these people doing? Well, we have a little subjunctive in here, which suggests that this is a relative clause. In this case, I introduced to you several kinds of relative clauses in chapter 38. This happens to be one of the slightly less usual ones, but this is the one that shows up all the time in Cornelius Nepos. So this is an RCOP. This is a relative clause of purpose. So why did these envoys go to the neighboring peoples? Well, they went, so that they might peterent, they might seek society, and don't say society because that's silly, but an alliance and a marriage, or marriage right, maybe. I think marriage right made more sense, to or for or with the neighboring people. Basically, they want to. He sends these people out, these guys out to say, "Hey, can we marry your women?" And Noah Popolo is probably little. The note tells you date of interest. Date of interest. Right, nusquam benigne legati aritasant. Non finitimis non solum Romanos spernebat, sedetiam tantam in medio crescentem orbem metuebant, itaque ratio Romani vi uti statuerunt. So nusquam, not lightly, nowhere, right? Nowhere well benigne, nowhere kindly were the legati listened to, right? So basically, nobody cares what the legati had to say. Where they were like, "Hey, can we marry into your people?" And nowhere kindly were they listened to. Nam for the finitimi, the neighbors, non soli, not only were spernebating, right? We're spurning, or rejecting They were not only rejecting the Romans, but said Etienne, but they were also metuebating, metue magistrum. They were fearing tantam, something such in medio crescentem. Such a urbem crescentem, such a growing city in the middle of them. Right, so there's neighbors all around. Right, so they are like, I don't know about this new city, Rome. Right, it's filled with a bunch of criminals and men, so I don't really know what we're going to do with this. But we're not going to let you marry into our societies. We're not going to let you have our women. We're not going to let you have the ability to become more powerful and strong. Right, so they not only didn't listen to him, but they were straight up rejecting him. Itaque, and so the Oratio Romani, the irate, the angry Romans, statuerunt, they, I don't want to say like decided, established, something like they decided to uti vim, they decided to use force. The Roman state did manage to survive, but one thing to always keep in the back of your mind is I always somewhat say in jest that the Romans were good at two things. They were good at killing and building. I say that in jest, but in actuality, you need to remember that they were really good at killing and building. In this case, right, if they don't get something, they take it by force. They're not necessarily the most model peoples in that regard. I wouldn't suggest if you need something, don't just go and take it from somebody. Right, see if you can't work your way into compromise. The Romans are not particularly good at the compromise front. They're mostly good at the taking at the point of the sword front. Right, adeam rem Romulus, ludis paratis, finitimus ad spectaculum invitavit, multi convenerant ludo spectarent et novam orbem viderent. So at this situation, Romulus, with ludis paratis, with the river having been crossed, with games having been prepared, invitavited, finitimus, he invited the neighbors to a spectacle. The spectacle is like it's a game. Well, a series of games. Right? Multi convenerunted, so many gathered. They were concerned about the Romans apparently, but not concerned enough not to go to the games. And so many gathered, and they gathered Justin ut, so that purpose clause, so that they could spectarent the ludos, so that they could see the games or watch the games, and they also rented the Noam Urbem, right? So they wanted to not only see the games, right, but they also wanted to see the new city. So many convened so that they could watch the games and see the new city. All right, forgot this for now. Let's keep going. I'm gonna close this and then Sabinorum omnis multitudo cum liberis aconiumus. So all of the Sabinorum, the omnis multitudo, the entire crowd of the Sabinorum. I'll do it this way. The omnis multitudo, the entire crowd of the Sabines. These were local peoples. Cum liberis ac conjugis, with their children and their wives. Dun, dun, dun. So the entire crowd of Sabines with their children and their wives they came. I think you know where this is going. I had to take an educated guess. Ubi spectaculi tempus venit omnes quintinti in ludos errant, tum signo dato Romani rapero virgines quae parent. Parentes virginem profugerant clamantes Romanos hospitium viola visse. Nec rapte virgines outspende se meliorum aut indignation minorum avebant, sed ipse Romulus circum ibat ostendebatque id patrum virginum, superbia factum esse, quamquam vi captae estis, inquid, omnia iura Romanorum abibitis. So this does not turn out particularly well for the Sabines. They showed up with their wives and children. Ubi, when the spectaculi, when the spectacles, when the games, when the spectacles came to the time, omnes, and everyone was intent, or all peoples were intent on the games. Dun dun dun. Ubi is clearly win here. Tum. Signo dato, with the sign having been given. Romani, the Romans, coeparunted, they began to rapere the virgines. In this case, please don't translate this as rape. This really just means to capture. But there's a reason that rapere becomes a rape as an English derivative, right? So they captured all of the virgines, the young girls, or they captured young girls. The parentes, the parents of the virginum, of the women, of the young girls. And we say young girls here, we don't mean like 8-year-olds. We mean like anywhere between probably 12 and 20. right? So it could have been younger, but it's probably more like 12 to 20. So the parents of these girls, profudunt, they fled, and they fled to Clamantin, shouting. When you're shouting something, you shout that in the indirect statement, shouting that the Romans, what had the Romans done? They had viola vased, they had violated hospitium. If you remember back from last year when you talked about the guest-friend relationship, probably in the Odyssey class, right? The hospitium, the guest friend, you wouldn't just like attack people if you had invited them into your house. So the Romans did violate guest friendship, right? Guest hospitality, right? So this is a bad situation, and it's getting worse. Nec raptae virgines, neither the seized young girls or maybe and not, and the young girls and the seized young girls something out spem, either hope for themselves better or an indignation, a lesser indignation, or how by bunting. So the girls were not having hope for something better, basically, which is not great. And basically they they were having worse treatment. They were hoping for better for themselves, but they weren't really. Right. So yeah. Anyway, this gets worse. Sed ipse Romulus circum ebat ostentatque id patrum virginum superbia factum esse. But but Romulus himself, which I don't really know why there's a but here, because this doesn't really make it any better. But Romulus circum ebat was going around and he was showing, what was he showing? He was showing that factum esse was done, or that it had been done, the kidnapping had been done, superbia, because of the fathers of the girls. Yeah, uh, yeah, it's not. It's kind of a lame excuse, right? But uh, yeah, take it as you will, right? He was going around and he was saying, "Hey, look, here's the deal, right? This has been done to you, so basically get over it." Quam, although captai estis, although you were captured by force, which she's not making your case better here, Romulus. Although you were captured by force, he said, omnia jura Romanorum habevetis. So although you were captured by force, all the laws of the Romans you will have. So you've been taken from your family, but you're still going to have the laws of the Romans. So I guess that makes it a lot better. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop there. Again, not a great look for the Romans, but that's how they solved their problem of citizens. Okay, that's enough for now.